arson, and I'm the one that got shot by a flare gun, and it caught my shirt on fire. I'm still in jail. You know what I mean? Like, if there's any way you could help.
Right, so we're here for an update on ISF. And on this one, Mr. Garahan, I think defense is requesting that the ISF be removed.
Yes, Your Honor, I've discussed it with probation. They've confirmed that she cannot go to ISF with the medication. We've had several women in the jail that have been sent there, and they've been sent back because they have the same medication. What I'm recommending the court is either lifetime recovery or intensive outpatient. I'm leaning toward intensive outpatient. I think she's very motivated to get on with her life.
Well, what medications are you on and what are the medications for?
I was not aware of this program. When I got to jail, I was there about 3 weeks, and it's an antagonist for opiates. It's a whole program with the recovery motion that I'm taking, and the medication is it's a blocker. So it's just no withdrawal, no break. Absolutely, it just makes you have a life basically.
So
better than methadone. Like
so you know the name of the medication?
It's called Subutex.
Okay. And how long have you been on this medication?
3.5 months. Well, since I got to jail, 3 weeks after I got to jail.
And this program that you're in, if you're released, do you have a case manager to work with you on the dosage?
Christine Denning, she's the probation officer that heads up the MAP program.
All right, Christine, what?
Denning, she's in the probation department that runs the program, the MAP program. And also I already have a prescription in my property for when I am released.
All right, Ms. Abrams.
Yes, sir. So I did get confirmation that Ms. Danielle has been participating in the jail MAP program, and she is receiving that medication. The medication is used to treat opioid use disorder, and unfortunately, all the state programs will not provide it. We're trying to make it available in our local facilities, but we haven't gotten there either. Ms. Denning is one of our assessors, and she does work with the Center for Healthcare Services.
All right, so she will have someone through probation. Is it going to be Christine Denning that follows up?
If I would ask that if we're going to amend conditions for her release, that we start with either lifetime recovery or intensive outpatient treatment, and then amend for a Center for Healthcare Services referral. Ms. Denning is not a officer that carries a caseload, so she wouldn't be the one to follow up and make sure that she's doing what she needs to do. It would be her actual officer doing that.
All right, would Lifetime Recovery accept her? Do we know?
I don't know the answer.
Judge, we would do the referral process.
All right, here's my concern.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
want you to be successful on this probation. And last thing I want is for you to be released and then something happens, you fall off, you use,
Yes, ma'am.
because I'm not a chemist. Bashan, even though I was president of my chemist high school class, that of chemistry and physics, that doesn't mean that I'm a chemist or a physicist. So I don't know what would happen to you if you were on this drug and you decided to end up using. So I do want a placement for you. Lifetime Recovery is a very good program, and Lifetime Recovery won't take them that long to accept you. Okay?
Can I say something?
Sure.
I've been locked up for going on 5 months.
Mhm.
I've never been away from my family this long. I lost my grandfather, and I feel like a horrible daughter being away from my mom. Can't be there. I know that I made a horrible decision. I feel like this Bear County broke me. I want to go home.
No, I understand you're saying that, but the problem is you're not looking at the big picture. And the big picture of this is that you were on probation right? You were placed on probation in 2023. And then what ends up happening? You have a motion to revoke filed. And the motion to revoke that was filed against you was for a new number one. And a new number one means that you were on probation and you committed a new crime.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So where we are is there are some judges who would have revoked you and you would have been doing your time at prison and then you would have been released from prison and then it would have been, oh, well. Right.
Yes.
So I am trying to make sure that I don't see you back here again because who knows what will happen. Either you'll come back or maybe you'll overdose. I don't know. So there are consequences to all of our actions. Sometimes we don't face the consequences on the front end. Sometimes we end up facing them on the back end. But you're looking at potentially 5 years in prison if you're unsuccessful. And everybody will always tell me, and your attorney will tell you, you know what? They find Jesus at the jail. And sometimes they do. And, you know, I'm a Christian, right? So I know that sometimes people do find Jesus at the jail and sometimes they will never get in trouble again. But then what I can tell you about 85% of the people, and I've done the statistics, about 85% of the people say they found Jesus at the jail. They're never going to get in any trouble again. They need to be with their family. They want to be with their children. You know, a family member passed or a family member is sick. I want to take care of them. You know what ends up happening? They get released. They go out in the world. They have the best of intentions, but then all of these temptations hit them. It's sort of like when people are on church on Sunday, when they're in church on Sunday, it is great because everybody there is saying they're going to follow the rule, the golden rule. It's going to be great. You know, you pay your tithes or whatever at the church. And then when you're released, Sunday, you're still feeling the glow. Then Monday, something hits you. Tuesday, something hits you. And you forget all about what happened in church on Sunday. And the cycle starts over. So what's going to happen is I am going to have you referred to lifetime recovery. And what we'll do, Mr. Young, is we'll bring her back in 2 weeks. If she is not accepted into lifetime recovery by that time in 2 weeks, then I'll do something else. And it'll most likely be intensive outpatient treatment. But if she is not accepted into lifetime treatment because she says, I'm not going to lifetime treatment, that's something
I
different.
understand that.
All right. So, Ms. Abrams, and I'm sorry, State, do you have any objections to her being, the conditions being amended and altered to lifetime recovery?
No.
All right. So what we will do is we're going to alter and amend conditions to lifetime recovery. And Jenna, she's to be released to lifetime recovery only. A referral to Center for Healthcare Services and continued participation in the MAP program. Is that MAP? MAT in the MAP program. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court? All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Your Honor.
All right, Alexis Rodriguez. Good morning. Have you conferred with the state? All right.
It's all done, yeah.
All right, and where's your client? Court is calling. Hey, hi, sure, well, good morning. Court is calling NIMAC number 738729, State versus Alexis C. Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Nick Aguilar on behalf of Alexis Rodriguez.
And are you Alexis Rodriguez? All right, counsel, you're here for, to set bond.
Yes, Judge.
My understanding that an agreement has been reached with the state to set the bond at $5,000. Is that correct?
I visited with Mr. Garahan yesterday. He wrote her.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
I
thank
did
you.
remind him that we were gonna be here this morning.
All right, state, any requests for any conditions?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Alexis Rodriguez.
All right. So these questions I'm going to ask you, they're related to your conditions of bond, not the case that you have before me. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So first question, have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues? Have you ever been to see a psychiatrist? Have you ever been placed on any type of medications? All right. Have you ever used any type of drug in the past?
Marijuana.
Anything other than marijuana? And if you were drug tested today, what would the results be? All right, so,
I know they can get a quantity of drugs in the jail, but I don't think you get a chance to smoke marijuana.
okay.
Because she's been there 2 months, court-appointed lawyer wasn't doing his job.
Well, I wanted, and the reason why I asked you whether or not you would test positive, because sometimes drugs stay longer in the system. But I don't want to get into the facts of your case because you're charged with marijuana possession.
But yeah, she's been locked up for in excess of 60 days.
All right. All right. This is what the court is going to do. I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. There's going to be regular UAs, waive fees. And in the past, when you use marijuana, how often were you using?
I would say like every week, 3 weekends.
Okay. And I'm going to do 60 sober meetings in 60 days. All right, counsel, is there anything else?
Now, when you say sober meetings, it's like a NA.
Yes,
Go to my church.
yes, that's what they call them now.
Sober meetings.
Yes. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further from us, Judge.
All right, thank you. They'll probably release you sometime at midnight. And what is this 444 on your chest?
It's angel numbers, protection.
All right. All right, well, you got to do your part.
Thank you.
All
Judge.
right, thank you. And counsel, you on this side. All right, so on this case, hello.
Hi, ma'am.
On this case, where are we on discovery?
Judge, I believe I have most of the discovery, but I do need to file my blood motion to get the blood evidence to me. I did get an offer today, Judge. I'd like to file the normal discovery motion, a blood motion.
All right, so that blood discovery motion needs to be filed by this week. And state, once you receive that, tender it to the court so that I can sign it.
Yes, Judge.
So that's to be filed. Are you able to get it filed by Thursday?
Judge, if you could give me until Monday, that would be great. I've got giant discovery deadline on the civil case Thursday, and then I've got a civil trial on Friday.
All right, the blood discovery motion needs to be filed by March 3rd. And state, once you receive that, present it to the court. And then Norma, set this for the end of March for a plea deadline date. All right, your next court date is going to be March 31st. You need to be on time for court. You understand? All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am on 2 of these cases. Mr. Thompson has a second court-appointed attorney on the third case.
All right, who's the other attorney on the third case?
I think it says Russell Mitchell, Judge.
Russell Mitchell.
That is correct.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm asking for a brief reset. I know we're set for trial on this matter, but it appears this is one that's going to work out.
Okay.
Mr. Thompson was issued a bench warrant from here in February of 2023, but it wasn't executed till January of 2025 when he made it back to Bexar County.
Okay.
I'm asking for this reset so that I can contact these other counties that he's been bouncing around and to get him credit for those other 2 years that this bench warrant was floating out there so that he gets credit for any time if this does end up getting resolved by exam.
All right. And state, did you tender an offer?
We tendered a tentative offer.
That is correct, Your Honor. They did tender a tentative offer.
All right.
So the cases that we conferred on, all cases would be resolved, but we conferred on the offer and it will be with this attorney.
All right. So, Norma, let's recall this back on March 17th. All
Thank
right.
you, Your Honor.
And sir, if they want to, if you're, excuse me, you're talking too loud. And number 2, we don't use profanity in this courtroom. All right. All right. So we're going to bring you back on March 17th. And if your attorney is able to work things out sooner than that, he'll let us know and we'll bring you over. What I can tell you is whatever credit you have, because you were in different counties and it took us a long time to find out where you were,
Yes.
you will receive credit for that. So you're entitled to all of that time legally. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, do you require a discovery acknowledgement and punishment election today?
No.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. And Norma, can you talk to defense counsel Russell and see if it would be best if just one attorney is on all of the cases? Good morning. So are you ready on the motion to revoke?
Well, Judge, I wanted to talk with you about that.
Yes.
So do you have a copy of the motion already?
Yes.
Okay, I got a copy for you.
You mean the copy of the motion to revoke? Yes, I have a copy of the motion to
Okay,
revoke.
perfect. So Judge, we have kind of a unique situation here. Honestly say, I don't think I've ever had it before. She's doing pretty well on her probation, but she has these positive blows. She'd had an accident, not a major accident, and she started having problems with it. And so she had the blows on the 16th of December, and then she she on the 17th, which is the last violation, she blew it was a .030 again. So her mom is actually in DWI court and has ignition interlock. She knew she hadn't been drinking, so she went over and she blew in her mom's, which came back as 0. I can't get those records yet. I'm gonna go see if I can get those records for you to show that. She also, and I talked to the prosecutor about all this. She also took the car into the installation. People, do you mind if I give her this?
All right, so are y'all ready to go on the motion to
Well,
revoke? Because you all are presenting evidence, so.
Well, Judge, I don't have all the documentation you're gonna want. So unless you think that you're not gonna need that, she didn't actually violate. She was never drinking, so. But all I have right now is the documentation from the installer indicating what he did in his conversations with the toxolog. I have not been able to get through the toxolog to get their documentation, and nor have I been able to get the toxolog records for her mom, which I think will show that there really was a problem with the ignition interlock in this situation. In which case, I think I would request that if the state would, consider withdrawing it if that is the situation. She's doing well on probation other than that. So, Judge, I guess what I'm saying is, if you think that's enough documentation for that, if you need additional, of which it does exist, then we would need to get a reset to get that documentation. But Judge, in this case, I truly believe my client did not violate at all. So I really I don't want her to have to post a big bond when she's, it was really truly in this situation, a problem with the device. If you want us to go ahead and get the additional documentation, I request if perhaps you might consider withdrawing the warrant and issuing a summons for her to come back. I don't know how you feel about that sort of thing. I've never done that in this.
Well, have you all conferred on this?
We've conferred on it, Judge, and based on my conversations with Ms. Corley, if she is able to obtain this record from Intoxilock, I believe that they possibly could be exculpatory. And my issue with the evidence that she's provided today, I don't know who that person is. I don't know if that person has a special relationship with the defendant and it's just putting stuff on the document and just put it on there. So that's why I don't feel comfortable proceeding on a motion right now, but I will agree.
So with regards to the Intoxilock, is that on the ignition interlock? Do they do that by camera?
Yes.
So then if she was blowing in her mom's device, which she shouldn't have, they should have that?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so what's Intoxilock's number?
I can look that up for you, Judge. I don't know if probation has a special contact number, but I'm just looking for the main number.
Any objections to the court calling Intoxilock?
No, Judge.
None from defense.
All right, just have a seat.
Judge, I have for them,
Is it the 88 number?
see, 844-909-2406. That's just the main number. It's not a special number. But
Okay, all right, just have a seat.
and just so you'll be aware, she had a number of requirements on her probation. She's done the AA meetings, 90 days of the AA,
Okay,
the parenting class, the
All right,
VIP,
so-
and a lifetime.
just have a
Okay.
seat. All right, thanks.
Yes, thanks, Judge.
Good morning. All right, please lower your hand. Do you see I have someone before me? That's rude. I'll get to you when I'm able to get to you. Your case has not been pulled up here. Do you understand? I mean, you start with the profanity and now you're interrupting proceedings. Don't do that. Hi, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we on discovery?
Judge, we have an issue. He does not speak English, so I have an interpreter here. We need to get a Spanish speaker.
All right, so your attorney wishes to be removed because he is not a Spanish speaker. Do you have any objection to that?
No.
All right, thank you. You'll be removed and we will obtain a Spanish speaker. All right, thank you.
Judge, continue.
Just have a seat. All right, who's here, a Spanish speaker?
DEA repeated public case or anything.
All right, so you have all the discovery?
No, we're missing a piece. It's really strange to us. This was a body cam. We can't seem to find it. I've even brought a USB and I guess it's your feet.
Hi, do you know where
Forward.
body cam, do you know where that is?
No idea, Your Honor.
All right, have you looked for it?
I have
been told what body cam it is, so I'm not sure which one it is that I'm supposed to look for. So
All right.
At this point, no, Jim.
All right, so if you will talk to the state, let them know which body cam it is, maybe they can pull it up for you now.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
But we'd still like a reset. I wanna get a investigator to contact baby mama's boyfriend, who allegedly owned the car in the Honda. And the state was gonna look into ownership of the car.
All right, so let's see first about the body cam, so you can have that, then your investigator will have something.
That'd be great.
So yes,
Okay, do you mind if I was elaborate on some things? I first got assigned Mr. Hayek with a theft. I showed up for court, right? They had just changed the Odyssey thing. So the bailiff told me to talk to the coordinator, however it was on the other side, it was in county court, right? Well, she gave me a piece of paper saying, call in 2 weeks. Well, Mr. Hayek didn't see me there apparently and got me a FTA, right? So I knew I had an FTA when they walked up on me until I ran, right? I did do that, right? But I
let me
did
ask
show
you
up to
something,
court.
let me ask you something. So why are you admitting to committing crimes? Because that's what you've just done.
Yes, ma'am, because I did evade arrest.
All right, so you just admitted to a crime, so that's eliminating probably one defense your attorney may or may not have for you.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm just honest with what I did. So, I just want to be honest with you. So then I had my, people call Mr. Hayek and talk about, okay, well, I got arrested. I got shot with a flare gun, right? And it caught some stuff on fire. I bonded out on all these charges. I paid $2,200. I was out 3 days. I was there on the side of the road trying to put the fire out. The fire marshal said, there's no evidence to charge me with the crime, right? But Bear County's charged me anyways, and it pulled all my bonds. I paid $2,200 to get out, right? I got things going on with my kids. I just started seeing my 3-year-old kid. I was just helping them on the side of the road. Look, well, it pulled all my bonds. So I was gonna see if somehow, cause I had Charles Bunk. And he read on there, on the police report, it says, there's no evidence to charge James Cody Davis, right? But they did anyway, so he got it, he went, and he was like, I don't even know how they even didn't reject you. So he went and got it thrown out before it was indicted or anything, right? Within a week after he seen me the first time, Charles Bunk. So I was gonna see somehow, like I paid $2,200 to get out for 3 days, and I was putting a fire out there when I got shot with a flare gun, right? So if there's any way you can look into that or reinstate my bonds or something, because I was only out 3 days and I wasn't even supposed to get arrested for this arson, and I'm the one that got shot by a flare gun and it caught my shirt on fire. I'm still in jail. You know what I mean? Like, if there's any way you could help get my bonds reinstated. I was through Armstrong.
Well, with regards to bonds being reinstated, your bondsman will need to request that they be put back on your bond. Reinstatement of bond means that I'm telling the bondsman, you're back on this bond. And that's not something that I do.
Okay.
So the bondsman will have to agree to be on your bond.
What
And
about them doubling it? And when I wasn't supposed to get arrested?
excuse me, yes.
Sorry for interrupting you, Mr. Davis. May I be excused to try and look for
Yes.
the.
Yes. So that's where we are. So, and then where we are right now is you're gonna have a seat. He's gonna see if he has the body cam that you're looking for, and then you can approach again. All right, thank you.
I've confirmed with the DA and they're gonna give me an offer, but he wants to look at the evidence. So since I've been the attorney about short amount of time, Ezequiel Garza Chavez.
All right, is he a citizen?
¿Eres ciudadano? ¿De dónde? ¿De Mexicano? Mexico now.
All right, so are you gonna handle immigration issues or do you need an immigration attorney appointed?
I am gonna ask
Through
the
the
MAC
MAC.
office to do an assessment with him.
All right, Norma, we did an immigration through MAC attorney.
Yes, I've done a bunch of them.
Okay, awesome.
Justin Tullius, I think is name. Yes.
All right, Norma, I'm gonna recall this for 30 days. All right, so if your attorney wants you to appear before March 31st, then he can request that you be brought over sooner.
Vamos a hablar en esta próxima semana, vamos a hablar. 31 de marzo, okay? Thank you, Judge. He's been advised March 31st.
Thank you.
Your Honor. The
Yes.
DA has looked through his files of about 9 different videos. So he wants me to look at whatever I have. Look at my office.
All right, thank you. All right, Cody Davis, come down. Ms. Ferguson, on Cody Davis, reset this for plea deadline date, March 31st. If your attorney wishes for you to be brought over sooner, he'll let us know.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and your attorney can file whatever motions he wants to file with regards to bond issues.
I'll at least follow up.
All right,
Sorry
thank you.
for my language and interrupting your clerk.
No, it's no problem. Sometimes, here's the thing, I understand that these cases that we have, for you, it is the most important thing because it involves your life, right? So I understand how people can get frustrated and upset if you think that people are not hearing you. So apology accepted. We're going to pretend like that never happened, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to bring you back on March 31st. And if your attorney wants you brought back sooner, he'll let the court know. But as I said before, with regards to bonds, if you're on a commercial bond, there is no reinstating a bond for me unless the bondsman agrees to it. All right, because that's like me telling the bondsman, you're going to get back on this person bond. And they may say, no, we've had problems with this person. We don't want to be back on their bond. So legally, I can't force them to do it, but he's saying that he will call them and see if they will agree to a reinstatement of your bond and have them as your bondsman. Now, whether or not I agree to reinstate it at the same amount will depend on what evidence is presented to me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
And, okay.
No, that's plea deadline. All right, who's here? Sydney Peterson?
They brought him out yet, but.
Dr. Peterson?
Oh, yeah, here.
Yes, do you need to speak to him?
No, it's an MTR, haven't been appointed by MAC yet, talked to the state. He's got a new number one. I just look at the police report. They've got to do some.
All
more
right,
following.
Mr. Peterson, come down.
Oh, he's there. Okay.
All right, so what are you saying? You haven't been appointed on what?
On the MTRs, I found out about it today.
All right, Norma, can you make sure he's appointed on the MTR?
Got appointed on the new number one.
Okay. And it's the 2023-1041. Gary, it has you listed on here.
They may have me listed, but
Yeah.
they send me an email. It says I'm listed.
Yeah, they're saying appointed on February 3rd, but I understand.
Like I said, I've talked to the state. They're looking into it too. To see where the new number one, because they're making a recommendation for ISF subject to what happens to the new number one, and the new number one's kind of screwy, just looking at the police
All
report.
right, okay. And then with regards to this new number one, do you have discovery on that?
He gave me a copy of the police report today.
A copy of the CMAG packet, which included a copy of the offense report, as well as recordings from the officers who arrived, but we have no SB 111 statement. We have no prosecution guide. As far as I'm aware, we don't have any victim statements. So it is incomplete at this stage, which is not surprising because the alleged offense date is mid-January of this year, if I remember correctly.
All right, Norma, set this for a contested hearing in 3 weeks, please. All right, March 18th.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bashan, that's Sydney Peterson. I don't know. Who's here on Juan Castaneda?
Yeah.
All right, so he has 2 motions to revoke.
He does, Judge.
Are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
No, ma'am, we're not. We're here simply to get a bond set. He's not scheduled for docket. He's in jail with no bond.
Okay,
That's why we have agreed recommendations that we'd like to make.
and these are both deferred adjudications. All right, court is calling 2017 CR 4615 and 2021 CR 0832 State versus Juan Castaneda. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Gary, Your Honor.
James Tudge, Mr. Council, the other judge.
All right, the defendant is on deferred adjudication in each of these cause numbers. Because he's on deferred adjudication, he's entitled to a bond in each of these cause numbers. It appears that you all have reached an agreement in the cause number ending 32 to set the bond at 7,500.
Yes. Yes, 7,500. Sorry, Judge, I couldn't.
No problem.
Apologize.
And
And also a no contact order, we were asking for with a NEPA
And then in 1.5, it appears that you all have agreed to a bond of 7,500 as well. Is that correct?
That is correct, including the no contact order again. I believe that will be also on another possible case.
All right. All right, State, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Castellano, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Juan Carlos Castañeda.
All right, have you ever seen a psychiatrist before?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been placed on any type of medications for mental health issues?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
No.
Have you ever used drugs in your past?
No.
And what would that be?
Marijuana,
And what else?
cocaine,
And what else?
meth.
And what else?
That's it, ma'am.
See, why did I have to do and what else and what else and what else? Okay.
Well, you're asking the questions.
No, you know, Mr. Toshi. All right, the court will grant your motion. I mean, sorry, the court will set your bond at the agreed amounts of $7,500 in each case. In each case, there's to be no contact with NEFA. There's to be regular UAs, waive fees. There's to be GPS tracking, waive fees. Norma, set this for 3 weeks for a contested, please. All right, your contested hearing is going to be March 18th. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And if you want to talk to probation,
I do, with the court entertain potentially me reapproaching to set it at a later date, trying to formulate a plan for Mr. Castellano, potentially.
who's here on Ashley Rodriguez? All right, come forward.
Oh, yes, I've conferred with the state. on
All right, is she on the docket?
I believe she is, Judge.
No, I mean the person who's back there coughing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Excuse me, miss, are you on the docket? All right, so I'm gonna have to ask you to wait outside and we'll call you when your son comes up. All right, so where are we on discovery?
I've received everything except 2 large body cameras, which I've requested. I believe the paralegal will be preparing those. I will file a breath test, standard discovery order. I've conferred with the state. They need to reach out to someone for extending an offer. We asked the court reset it for another setting to see if we can make some progress.
All right, Norma, recall this in 30 days for discovery. All right, March 31st.
Thank you, Judge.
And just 1 second, let me see what page is she on? All right, thank you for addressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat and he'll bring a reset form to you, okay? Thank you. You're welcome. No, Norma, this plea is happening today on Amadean. No, I mean, this note I have. This keeps getting, oh, okay. Who's here on Amadean? Amadean Smith?
Yes.
Are you all ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what is going to happen with, I have a 2024 CR 01037.
That will be taken into consideration, Your Honor.
Okay. And have you all conferred with probation,
Regarding what, Your Honor?
this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 8440 and 2024 CR 3014W. State versus Ahmad Baya. All right, Jordan Smith. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Salem.
Todd Lessert for Mr. Smith.
And are you Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so if you all could not block the line of vision of probation, thank you. Mr. Smith, did you review the documents entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and First Amended Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And cause number 2023 CR 8440, you were placed on probation for the offense of harassment of a public servant on March 4th, 2024 for a term of 8 years. And in 2024 CR 3014W, you were placed on probation on March 4th, 2024 for a term of 8 years for harassment of a public servant. Is that you in both of those cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, are you proceeding on the same allegation in each motion? All right, you may proceed.
On or about the 21st day of March 2024 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Ahmad Bayone Jordan Smith committed the offense of evading arrest, detention in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining violation allegations, Judge.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number one in each cause number, the court could fine you, well, you're already been found guilty, but the court could sentence you up to 10 years in the prison? Did you understand that by pleading true to violation of condition number one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one in each cause number?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each cause number, the court would find violation of condition number one true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge, revoke supervision, amend the judgment. To sentence Mr. Smith to 3 years of confinement in the penitentiary in each case.
All right, why should I follow this agreement? Anyone?
Your Honor, Mr. Smith has already taken responsibility for these matters. We're trying to resolve all of this pending cases in front of the system at the moment. Mr. Smith has a young son up in Kerrville he'd like to spend time with. He's a pipe worker, pipe welder by trade. Would like to be able to return to society as quickly as possible to show that he can be a productive citizen. And we think that this is an appropriate punishment in order to resolve the cases before the court today.
What has he done on probation?
Very little, Your Honor. There was apparently some misunderstanding with the paperwork, and we decided not to take it very seriously. So he made a mistake in judgment.
So is there a reason why I should give you 3 years? Because it appears if you have not done anything on probation, the only thing you've done is commit a new offense. You want to raise your right hand?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. What have you done since you've been on probation?
I've basically been in jail this whole time. I guess I didn't take it that serious because they didn't have the paperwork whenever I went.
Okay, I don't even know what that means about I've been in jail this whole time. I didn't take it seriously. So let's unpack some suitcases a little bit. I understand that he was to spend time, he was to get stabilized with Center for Healthcare Services. So where are we on that probation?
The information we have indicates that there's not really anything done on this case. There was a mental health screening we did earlier this month. He does have a Tacoma appointment on April the 8th. However, after being released, I don't show that he was reporting. So there's nothing that was done.
All right. You were released from custody. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
After you were placed on probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. How old are you?
32.
All right. So you're 32. It's not as though you're 18. So you were released. Did you ever report?
I reported and they didn't have my paperwork.
All right. So did you ever call back to report again, or you just said you're done?
I called a couple times. There's no.
All right. Did you obtain any employment?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Did you follow up with Center for Healthcare Services?
No, Your Honor.
So where have you been living? Have you been living by yourself?
With my family, my mother.
All right. Were they aware that you were on probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why didn't you do anything? I don't understand that.
I thought I don't know, I thought something went wrong with the courts or the paperwork.
And you thought, hey, they'll never find out and I'm just lost in the system?
I wasn't hiding anything, Your Honor.
I mean, but you knew you were supposed to report. And when you say you were living with family, what family member?
My mother.
Your mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm gonna give you a choice. This choice is up to you. And probation, I'm sorry, what are you recommending?
According to the court summary, depending on if the pending cases are resolved, continue on probation and close jail for DDRF.
All right, these are your choices. You have two choices and these are your only choices. So don't ask me for anything else. There are only two choices. I can revoke you. I will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. You do your time, you're done. How much time you will have to do or when they are releasing people for parole, that is one thing you can ask other people who are in jail. People in jail can tell you that, and they also can tell you when you're catching chain. That's what you can depend on inmates to be honest about and know something about. Everything else, I wouldn't take their opinion on legal matters. So either 5 years in prison, or either I'll deny the motion, alternate remand conditions, you're gonna stay in custody for that Tacoma evaluation. that Tacoma evaluation. How long is that taking? So it's April 8th. Those are your two choices. You have no other choices. Which do you prefer?
May I ask what the evaluation was for, Your Honor?
It's related to your mental health.
I guess I would prefer the evaluation.
Well, it's not guess. It's,
For the evaluation, Your Honor.
all right. And what are you doing with the open cases? Because they can't do anything unless the open cases are disposed of.
Lead on the evading and TIC, the criminal mischief.
All right. And those are the only open cases he has?
As far as I'm aware, yes, Judge.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, the court in each case is finding violation of condition number 1 true. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include the Tacoma evaluation, follow results. And probation, if for any reason they don't accept him or say he's not accepted, let's bring him back to court and figure out what else to do. Yes. And you say the next phase for him is the Tacoma evaluation? All right. Is there anything else he needs, probation? All right, and there's going to be no unsupervised contact. I'm sorry, there's to be no contact with minors until completion of parenting classes. So if you want to see your child, you need to complete parenting classes. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. And probation, after he's completed parenting classes, then it will be no unsupervised contact with minors. I like to do things incrementally. So once you've completed your parenting classes, then you'll be allowed to have supervised contact with minors. And then if you're doing well, I'll change it. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor. May
Yes.
I ask
Sure.
if I could enroll in lifetime?
All right. Didn't I give you two choices?
Oh, my apologies.
No problem. All right. Is there anything else, probation? All right, thank you.
No,
Yes. Here, our counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, counsel. I don't understand why he's not internet.
মজা হয়েছে
অসাধারণ হয়েছে এই এ মেয়ে কি করে
ওই তুই ওরে দেখ চমকাই উঠছিস কেলা ওর নাম লাইলি আর আজকে সব ওই রান্না করছে
কি
হ্যাঁ আম্মা জান আমার পোলা কথা কইছিলাম না
ইস এরকম জঘন্য রান্না আমি জিন্দেগি দেখাই নাই
আপনি কেন টানতেছেন? আমারে দেন, আমারে দেন।
থাক আম্মা জান থাক, আমি তো পারতাছি।
সমস্যা না, আপনার বাসার সামনে না, আমি আগায় দিতেছি, চলেন।
তুমি কেঠা মা? আমি তো চিন্তা পারতেছি না কোনখানে বাসা?
আমার সামনে মহল্লা বাসা। আমার নাম লাইলি।
ও লাইলি, তুমি কি আমার চিনো?
জি না খালাম্মা, আসলে আপনি তো আমার মায়ের বয়সী, বুঝছেন না? তা আমার মা যদি এরকম বাজারে ব্যাগ টানতো আমি তো দিতাম না, আমি লয়ে নিতাম।
ও আচ্ছা।
খালাম্মা আপনার কোনো পোলা মায়া নাই?
আছে তো, আমার একমাত্র পোলা আছে।
তো চ্যাংড়া পোলা থাকতে আপনার বাজারে যেতে হয়ে গেল।
তুমি যে কি কও, তুমি কিন্তু খুব ভালো কথা কইছো। আমি আসলে বাসায় দিকে তো মাঝে মাঝে নিজে হাট বাজার করি। তা আম্মা জান তুমি কেমনে জানলা আমার পোলা চ্যাংড়া?
ও আপনার বয়স দেখে আন্দাজ করছি আর কি, আপনার পোলা চ্যাংড়াই হবো। এইটা আপনার বাচ্চা?
হ্যাঁ, এই যে আইসা পড়ছে, আমার বাসা আইসা পড়ছে। চাও তুমি এত কষ্ট করছো, একটু চা পানি খিলাও।
না না আজকে না, খালাম্মা আরেকদিন আসুন।
আচ্ছা,
আপনি নিশ্চয়ই কষ্ট পাইছেন তাই না? কষ্ট পাইলে মানে আপনি কইছেন আমারে, আমি যদি না যাই তাহলে তো খারাপ দেখে। তো আজকেই যাই তাহলে,
চলো। আচ্ছা বাজান,
বাহ
কি আম্মা জান?
আপনার বাসা খালাম্মা খুব সুন্দর, আপনার বাসা।
ও আমি তো ভাবতেছিলাম তুমি আমার ছেলের কথা কইতাছো। মাশাআল্লাহ, আমার ছেলে সুন্দর আছে না?
আছে আর কি, ওই আছে।
আচ্ছা আম্মা জান, তুমি কি খাইবা? তোমার কি পছন্দ?
আপনার পোলাই কি পছন্দ করে?
ও তো যা পায় তাই খায়।
যা পায় তাই খায়, তার অবশ্য দেখে বুঝে যায়।
কিছু কইতাছো?
না খালাম্মা, কিছু কইতেছি না, মানে কইতে চাইছি যে সবার তো একটা প্রিয় খাদ্য থাকে, তারটা কি?
হ্যাঁ আছে তো, গরুর গোস্ত। গরুর গোস্ত পাইলে তো মাথায় ঠিক থাকে না, খুবই পছন্দের।
আচ্ছা কইতেছেন, আমারও গরুর গোস্ত খুব পছন্দ।
ঠিক আছে আম্মা জান, তুমি বসো, গরুর গোস্তে রান্না করবো, দুপুরে সাথে মিলে একসাথে খামু।
আরে আমি এখানে একা একা বসে কি করবো খালাম্মা, আমি যাই আপনারে সাহায্য করি একটু।
মাশাআল্লাহ, কি লক্ষ্মী মাইয়া। আসো আসো।
মা মাংস যা হয়েছে না,
মজা হয়েছে?
অসাধারণ হয়েছে। এই এ মেয়ে কি করে?
ওই তুই ওরে দেখ চমকাই উঠছিস কেলা? ওর নাম লাইলি, আর আজকে সব ওই রান্না করছে।
কি?
হ্যাঁ আম্মা জান, আমার পোলা কথা কইছিলাম না?
ইস, এরম জঘন্য রান্না আমি জিন্দেগি দেখাই নাই।
কি কইতেছস? একটু কি কইলি অসাধারণ, এখন কইতেছস ফালতু। মাথা গেছে নাকি?
খালাম্মা আমার মনে হয় গরমে মাথা গিলু গইলা গেছে গা।
তাই মেয়ে, তোমার সাহস তো কম না, তুমি এনে কেন আসছো?
খালাম্মা আপনার সামনে আমরা ধমকাইতেছে।
ওই তুই ওরে দাম গাছ গেলা? হ্যাঁ ও আইছে তো কি হয়েছে, তোর কোনো সমস্যা আছে? ও জানোস না আজকে আমার এই রান্না বান্না কত সাহায্য করছে?
জানতে চাই না, ওরা এখনই বাড়ি থেকে বাইরে যেতে বলো।
কি কথা চস? এত কিছু কষ্ট করে রান্না করে মাইটা না খাইয়ে চলে যাবো?
ও যদি এখান থেকে না যায় আমি বাইরে যাবো এখন।
খালাম্মা তোর মাথা নষ্ট হয়ে গেছে গা, আমি বরং আজকে যাই, আপনি থাকেন খান, আমি আরেকদিন এসে খামুনি।
আমার জান, তুই এটা কি করলি? মাইটারে খালি মুখে বিতে দিলি?
তুমি ওরে চিনো না মা, খুব ডেঞ্জারাস।
আমার চিনার দরকার নেই, তুই বেশি করে খা।
তোর খামুই না।
A plea of not guilty by reason of insanity instead of no contest.
I don't either, Judge.
All right, so it should be a plea.
That's been our dilemma.
I
Like,
will tell you what, if you want to come up, well, actually, Judge Rodriguez is supposed to do that. So it's supposed to be a not guilty plea by reason of insanity. You do a bench trial and you do the steps the same way you would do plea paperwork. So is that,
I've done numerous
yeah,
NGRs.
so they're not,
But the problem, when explaining to him, he gets hung up on how you're supposed to enter the plea of NGRI. And he's like, well, I want to plead no contest.
okay, I'll tell you what, just have him,
So I'm kind of wondering, can we just do what would be tantamount to an open plea where he can plead no contest, but part of the evidence is the sanity report, and then either Judge Rodriguez or yourself can then look at the expert report and make that determination.
all right, so I think he may be able to plead no contest though, from what I've read.
Okay.
So, all right, Amber Salazar. All right, state, were you able to tender an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, we did tender an offer.
And how are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
All right,
And Your Honor, we just received the discovery today,
okay.
but we also, in light of the offer that we received, what we would ask, instead of a longer reset, we're actually asking for a reset on Thursday. We think
Okay.
we're gonna most likely accept it. I just don't want to accept it without having viewed the.
All
Like
right, Ms.
50
Ferguson,
gig.
if you recall this for February 27th. All right, we'll see you back on February 27th.
Thank you. Excuse, Your Honor.
Yes. Tyron Eds?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
The investigator sent me those three motions so she could get paid on those.
All right, is this case already closed?
Oh, yes. Judge.
Okay, I don't
Yeah, he
understand.
got 25.
Let me see. Let me check to make sure in the
It
system.
was a family violence case.
Okay. And you had posted your hair thing. I'm loving it.
Oh, thank you, Judge. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really need it, but like I just thought I was seeing a little bit of thinning, so I just wanted to fill it in before, you know.
No, it looks great.
Thank you.
Oh, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm excited.
we're due in July.
Oh, do you know?
That's a boy.
Oh, okay.
So,
'Cause
boy
I
or girl?
was gonna say you could name it after your travel buddy.
Yeah, well, we might do Alexander Gael Faugs. We'll see. I
Okay.
tried to do like a really really like English name like Alistair, but my wife said no. No,
Okay,
Alistair.
I'm with her with Alistair. People would say, where is this coming from?
Exactly. So Alexander it might be. So we have Alessandra, she's about to be 5, and then Alexander. So
Oh, that'll be awesome. All right, so on this case,
This is our first true setting judge.
Mhm.
We came in, I think, last week or the week before to just get the bond set.
mhm.
We've been in discussion with the state today in regards to Ms. Diaz's case. At this time, it looks like it's gonna be a contested hearing. The only thing is that Ms. Diaz spoke with her husband yesterday. He's in the military and his home base is up in Seattle. But he gets deployed on special missions and things like that. So she spoke to him yesterday. He won't be available until May 8th. He can be available May 9th for Zoom, or in person, Your Honor. My
What is he, a
client-
witness?
I'd like to have him as a witness, yes. Ms. Diaz currently lives up by
In Fort Cavazos, Colleen.
in Killeen, Your Honor, with her son, so she made the choice to remain, so her son could not get uprooted during high school. So she lives here, doesn't have support here, so her only real family support is her husband, who's out on a special mission. But he will be back in May, and to make the court feel comfortable and safe about possibly granting our request to hold that MTR contested hearing until May 8th or May 9th. My client's currently out on bond. She hasn't had any issues. She currently has an interlock in her car, but she's willing to add a scram to her body, Judge, just so that puts you at ease, and also add zero tolerance to her bond conditions if she tests positive.
No, we're gonna have the contested hearing sooner than that. So the contested hearing is going to be in March. I'll allow you all to pick your March date for a contested hearing. What date?
Can I get back to you, Judge? I'll try to see if we can maybe find some way to contact her husband to see if he can be available. She told her yesterday that he couldn't be, but maybe we can find some way. If I could just maybe have a few days to come back to you with a date.
All right, I tell you what date I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on probation. What dates? Tuesdays or Thursdays? All right, so we'll put this for March 25th.
Okay, Judge. Yeah, we'll try to see if we can do what we can do on that.
All right, thank you so much. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Ms. Ferguson, it's gonna be contested March 25th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And counsel, the reason why for that date is because she's on probation for a DWI, and now we have a new allegation. All right. Court is calling 2025 CR 000293, State versus Uliterio Espinoza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?